In today's subscriber story, this Roblox kid who is being a jerk to a lot of people gets absolutely destroyed when he tries to be a jerk to this girl, and it was hilarious. So there's this kid, right, and he's known as the Roblox Kid, and he's not known as the Roblox Kid because he, is just a big fan of Roblox, just plays the game a lot, enjoys the game. You're totally free to play the game and enjoy the game and not be called a Roblox Kid. For example, I'm not going to call you a Minecraft Kid just because you play Minecraft, man. That's just not how it works, right? Roblox Kid has a certain connotation to it that, like, you're doing a lot of stuff along with liking Roblox. For the duration of this story, I'm just going to call this guy Roblox Kid, right? So Roblox Kid had a history of terrorizing people in my subscribers class. If you don't know, a subscriber sent in the story. You can always do that. Link in description. All that information's down there. Anyways, right? So this guy, known as like the Roblox Kid, had been terrorizing my subscribers class ever since he transferred to his school about a month ago. This story took place in like the very beginning of the year, and this new kid transferred in, and no one really knew what, he was going to be like. And the thing is, when you have like a kid transferring in and like he doesn't know a lot of people, of course you want to be nice to them. If anything, I encourage you to be nice to them. So everyone in my subscribers class, including my subscriber, he was very nice to this new kid, and like they didn't know him as the Roblox Kid who like was menacing and terrorized people yet. They just knew him as like, just a kid, right? Just a new guy who's probably doesn't know a lot of people, who probably isn't feeling so good, right? And it's only within the first couple days that they start to realize that something is up. The first thing the Roblox Kid did wasn't really necessarily a bad thing that made him a menace. It just started off on the wrong foot, right? So all these kids, they wanted to follow this guy on Instagram because, you want to connect with him even if you don't see him a lot out of school. You want to make him know that, like, everyone in the new school that he just transferred to is, like, really open to him and is really open to, new people coming in. They want to make him feel welcome. So they all decide to go follow him on Instagram. So they look up his name, and obviously his name's not Roblox Kid, even though I will be calling him that. And they find his Instagram account, but what they find on the account is a little bit weird. I'm just going to be honest. So those kind of like Roblox Kid cringe videos that like Poncho and Pegasus and Tagswag and those people would do? Those types of posts, like those like TikTok posts that like they reacted to? Those were the type of posts that this kid posted unironically. And ever since then, he kind of gained the reputation as the Roblox Kid, because he would post stuff that was just like, oh boy. Like, he posted one of those videos where it was like, I'm talking in my real voice, and he's obviously not talking in his real voice. He's talking in some kind of like fake deep voice to make him sound all cool and like, oh my god, the ladies are gonna love me now, man, because I'm talking in this weird voice. So like, here's the thing. While that was all pretty cringe to them, they're like, oh my god, right? It doesn't mean that he was a bad guy. It was what he did next that definitely solidified himself as being known as a bad guy. So right after, some people follow him on Instagram, they see like some kind of weird posts or whatever, they aren't necessarily like going to not try and make him feel welcome. They still decide like, okay, this might be a little weird, but we don't really care. Like, sure, man can like enjoy posting weird stuff, but we're still going to be nice to him, right? So it's a couple days in the class, and over the first couple days, Roblox Kid was kind of just kept to himself, right? He was just kind of like shy. He wasn't really saying anything, but he definitely grew comfortable really quickly, which normally is a good thing, but in this case was not a good thing. Yeah, so basically, right, within a week of Roblox Kid being in class, the teacher would say something and he would just laugh. And the teacher would look back and say like, oh, what's so funny? Like, what joke did I miss? And the Roblox Kid would say, nothing. And people just were like, okay, that's a little strange, right? That's a little weird. And he just kept doing that. But then he started to do it when like someone would like say an answer, like the teacher would be like, does anyone know what whatever is, right? And someone would answer and the answer would be wrong. And he would let out a little laugh, right? And the teacher would be like, what's so funny? He's like, nothing. And he would just keep doing that, right? And he especially did it when people were like somehow a little bit vulnerable. Like, you said an answer and it was wrong. And he would make sure to just sneak a little laugh in there. Quickly, if you enjoy Storytime videos, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. That's it, back to the story. The level of snarkiness coming from Roblox Kid only increased every single day he was there. And at one point, someone came in with like an outfit. I think it was some guy, and he was wearing green on green, which, yeah, neon green, like top with a neon green bottom normally isn't the move. Look, I'm not a guy who like knows a lot about fashion, but even I know that like probably, wearing neon green on neon green probably isn't the hottest look ever, and all the ladies aren't going to be fawning over you. But when this guy came in, Roblox Kid looks at him, kind of like gives this little laugh, and then is like, and he turns to the guy and he's like, "Do you need to have your eyes checked, buddy?" And then the guy's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, looks at the outfit. He's like, "Do you see what you're wearing?" The guy's like, I got out of bed late. I just threw on what I had on. And then people kind of like looked back and they're like, "Oh, that was a little aggressive, man. Like, that was a little aggressive for literally no reason, dude. Like, yeah, the guy didn't have the greatest outfit of all time. Like, lock him up. Like, okay, it's just class, bro. Like, no one else cares. Why do you have to have such an attitude? What did he do to you?" And just after that point, the snarkiness and like backsided comments, and just kind of like Roblox Kid being like a massive jerk, it just kind of like went up every single day, and it got worse and it got worse and it got worse. For example, a couple weeks in, like after he had that last comment to the kid and was just being snarky and laughing at people, right? So in the very beginning of class, before class started, kids kind of like sat down, and like the teacher was kind of getting the stuff together. But Roblox Kid was sitting kind of near this girl, and he kind of like looks over, he says, "Hey," and she's like, "Hey, what's up?" And he's like, "Are you wearing makeup right now?" And she's like, "No, I'm not wearing makeup right now." And he's like, "Maybe you should." So that comment was like, first of all, I just want to say to the guys out there, never say anything like that to like a girl, or really don't say anything like that to anyone in general. Like, common decency, but like, I don't care if you think you're funny, man. Like, it's going to really have a negative impact on someone. And in this case, it did. Like, when he said that to the girl, like, she already was having like her own insecurities. Look, a lot of people like around their age, I don't know exactly like what grade this guy, the subscriber who sent in the story, was. I'm probably going to say like 6th, 7th, 8th grade, probably like late middle school, early high school. That's when you're most, honestly, bro, that's when you're like your most insecure over everything. When you think all these things matter, and words like this, it's really going to go a long way. This girl ends up running out of the classroom, like crying, and like her friends go running after her. And this is the first time that the teacher actually does have to get involved and like talk to the Roblox Kid. He's like, "Roblox Kid," obviously he says his name, but we're gonna say, "Roblox Kid, like, go down and see the principal, like, go to the principal's office, like, I heard what you said. It was unacceptable," because he was close enough to the front of the classroom now where he sat, because he didn't sit in the same seat every day. He decided to terrorize a new person every single day by sitting in a new seat, and also disrupting the unassigned assigned seats. If you know what that is, then you know that that's criminal behavior. But anyways, he was close enough to the front of the classroom that the teacher's like, "I heard what you said, go to the principal's." So when Roblox Kid went to the principal, apparently the principal said, "Since this is your first offense, like, we're not going to give you a punishment, but basically, no, you're on very, very thin ice. And next time we hear of something like this, you're going to be suspended." And so the Roblox Kid's like, "Okay, like, I'm so sorry. It was just a little mistake. Like, I'm having a bad day." Trying to like weasel out of it, and also pretending like he has not been doing this for months on end to basically everyone. But anyways, right, from this point on, you might be thinking, okay, did Roblox Kid actually improve? Did he become a better person? No. He was just more careful when he was being a jerk to people, right? He didn't do it in front of the teacher. And he was also a little bit more careful who he did it to. But this didn't mean that he wasn't like continuing on his tirades of terrorizing people, as being a jerk, right? He started sitting more in the back of the class, and he started making his comments then. He also started making comments in the hallway with people. For example, someone would walk out of like a class, like his class with him, and they would have gotten like a pretty bad grade on the test. And as they were walking out, the Roblox Kid would be like, to all the people around him, like, he'd say really loudly, he's like, "I can't believe you got a whatever score on that test. Maybe study next time." Roblox Kid probably failed the test, dude. Like, we're gonna be honest. He was too busy making those "hey there, baby girl" Roblox edits to get like 3 likes on TikTok, but like, he needed to make sure that it was everyone else's business that the guy next to him failed the test. Right, so you might be thinking like, "Connor, this story is kind of depressing. Like, this guy just is like a terrible person to everyone, and he just keeps on getting away with it." And let me just say that, like, If there was no good ending to the story, if there was not like a satisfying conclusion, I would not be telling the story, right? Just hold out a little bit longer. Trust me, the ending is good, and karma, baby, karma is sweet. But before we get to the sweet, sweet ending, I'm going to interrupt this video to tell you that the secret phrase of the day is tree. So if you made it this far into the video, comment tree down below. I want to see how many people actually made it this far, and I appreciate you if you do. So there was this girl in the subscribers class. Let's call her Ashley, right? So Ashley was known as like, you know, being like very nice, very like kind and respectful. At least when you were being kind and respectful to her. But she was also known for like standing up to herself and standing up to herself firmly and like really well. Like if you tried to come and like roast her, man, you were going to come out scorched. That is not a flame fight you want to enter into. That's all I'm trying to say, bro. Ashley was something else, but she was also very kind and respectful and was a good, very solid friend that like, she was just an overall very good person, as long as you were a good person to her. She really had a whole eye for eye mentality when it came to stuff. And let me just say that Roblox Kid, since he was still kind of new to the school, he didn't know Ashley's reputation. But he also kind of like got a sense that she had a little bit tougher skin. So he decided that she would be the next victim of like his like, you know, his basically his being a jerk, right? His trolling, right? She was going to be the next victim because she probably wouldn't break down crying and get him in trouble and get him suspended. But she would also be like, you know, she would be a perfect target. Little did he know this was a huge mistake. So one day, the Roblox Kid went up to Ashley when they're leaving class, and he just like kind of looked at her, and he's like, "Hey, ugly," and she didn't respond, and he's like, "Oh, I'm talking to you." Oh, it's just like something really stupid and lame, but like just like really just trying to come for her. And she kind of looked at him, and she kind of like smirked and said, "You're gonna regret that, buddy." And he kind of like was like taken aback a little bit because like people had either been like go away or like they'd start crying or they'd just be like, bro. They never like smirked and said, "You're gonna regret that." He didn't think much of it after that, at least for a while. But let me just say that like that was the beginning of his downfall. He should not have messed with Ashley, bro. So coincidentally, wink, wink, nod, nod, right? The Roblox Kid starts talking about his new girlfriend, right, that he meets on Roblox. And he's talking about how, like, oh, man, I met someone who's perfect for me. Like, you guys suck. You're all single. LL plus ratio plus young boy better. Like, saying that in real life, like, something you would actually do, right? Like, was this every single day, was telling everyone he possibly could about the girlfriend he met on Roblox and how he's so much better now than them because he's in a relationship and they're not. So one day, right, he comes into class and just like, he's just going off on someone. He's calling someone ugly. He's calling someone stupid, right? And then he's also bragging about not being single. And then Ashley comes up to him, right? Out of nowhere, after about 3 weeks since their last encounter. So Roblox Kid has not thought for a second about about Ashley. And he's like, oh, what's up, ugly? Because he remembered his joke. And she said, "What's up?" and then said something very specific, and his face just went super cold. And the subscriber doesn't remember exactly what she said, but apparently, right, what she had said was word for word what his Roblox girlfriend said to him like the night before. And he's like, "Oh, what?" And then before he could say anything, Ashley kind of turned to the class before the teacher was there, because they got there a little bit earlier before the teacher some days, and this was one of those days. And she turns to everyone and she's like, "You know this girlfriend that he's been talking about for the last like week? Well, that was me. Get trolled, get roasted." And the Roblox Kid is like, "That's not true." And she said, "All right, open up Roblox." He boots it up. He's like, right? And then he boots it up. She opens up her like laptop, or I don't know if you can have an app for Roblox. Let's just say she opens up her laptop. I think that's what she did, right? This is what I'm told. And basically, she just sends him a message. And he receives it. He's like, packs up his stuff, just walks out of the class. He's not back for the entire day. And apparently the next day he came back and he was just silent. And for the rest of that week, he was silent. And for the rest of that year, he wasn't silent. Like, he spoke in class and tried to speak to people a little bit, tried to make friends. But basically, he was done being a jerk to people.